Hello everybody, welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and here are 3 important things to pay attention to for the upcoming trading week. Now I'm going to start things off a little bit different. Normally we start with earnings, but I'm going to bring that up as the caboose for today's session. What we're going to start talking about to begin with are 2 really important and extremely influential people in the financial markets. Now, back when I was on the floor in the late 1990s, there was a guy named Alan Greenspan, who was this old curmudgeon of a central banker who just shuffled across the streets looking all grumpy, going to these FOMC meeting minutes. And he would have a briefcase that was so thick with papers that CNBC actually would call it the briefcase cam. And they zoomed in and were like, ooh, it's a thick briefcase today. What's he going to talk about? Well, the point was, it put all this attention on one public figure, and his influence on the financial markets was so extreme that news outlets focused on his briefcase to give us an idea of what on earth was going on with Fed funds rates. Well, as we know right now, the Fed funds rate is really in question, and Jerome Powell is our Alan Greenspan of today. He is one who can be a mover and shaker of financial markets. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we had the FOMC meeting minutes, which outlined most of the members of the FOMC saying, hey, inflation's a serious issue now. We're going to raise rates more aggressively. So the focus is on what is he going to say. Now, coming up this week, we are going to have a meeting where he is speaking at the International Monetary Fund and the World Banks about economic conditions. That meeting will happen Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, again, this is important because any little word that comes out of his mouth can create big moves up, big moves down. The important part is volatility will most likely be higher on Thursday, so be very careful. Now, you thought Jerome Powell was having an impact on the markets. He's pretty much disappeared in the social media spotlight because there's somebody else, a 4-letter name. Oh, mind your words there. It's Elon Musk. Oh, the double 4-letter name. He is probably the most exciting thing in the financial markets right now. And as you may have noticed, unless you're sleeping under a rock, he has made a huge move to buy Twitter, one of the largest social media companies out there, for $43 billion in cash. Yes, I know. I'm reaching into my pocket going, gosh, do I have 20 bucks in cash? He's got $43 billion he wants to buy this company for. The problem is the cash isn't in his pocket. He's got to come up with it. Cash, where do you get it? So the point I'm making here is, where is it coming from? If you look at SpaceX, which is a huge opportunity for Elon Musk, he's got $40 billion invested there. But really, eyes are focusing on Tesla. Now at Tesla, he has $54 billion worth of options and a whopping $170 billion worth of shares. So, where's he going to get this money? Is he going to get a loan for $43 billion? Probably not. My assumption would be there'd be a loan for some part of that $43 billion. So if we look at where the money's going to come from, most likely the high probability area to point at would be Tesla. He's got that $170 billion worth of shares, and if he decides to unload some of that over the next week or 2 to come up with capital, then we could see some pretty significant moves in Tesla. And why is that important? Well, my friends, that takes us to our final one, which is the earnings calendar for the week. Now, let's start things off on our Monday side. Here you can see we've got 253 companies reporting this week. On Monday, Bank of America, Charles Schwab, BlackRock, and J.B. Hunt. On Tuesday, you've got Netflix, Johnson & Johnson, International Business Machines, Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, and Travelers Insurance. Wednesday, dun 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 dun, guess who's reporting earnings? Mr. Musk. Tesla reports earnings. Procter & Gamble, Lam Research, Kinder Morgan, and CSX. Thursday brings you AT&T, Snapchat, Intuitive Surgical, American Airlines, Philip Morris, and Freeport-McMoRan. And finally, as I'm out of breath and excitement, Friday brings us Verizon, Schlumberger, American Express, Kinder Morgan, and Newmont Mining. Now, as you can see, we saved this one for last because Elon Musk is in a situation where if they do accept, and honestly, if you're a shareholder and the share price is $44 and someone offers you $54, you're probably going to take it. I know I would. I'm going to get a nice 20-25% pop in my shares just because Elon Musk wants to buy it. I'll make it rain selling all my shares to you. Now, if he's going to come up with that capital to pay this in $43 billion in cash, most likely you'll see some Tesla shares sold. So what that means is that Wednesday activity with Tesla can be extremely volatile. I expect to see huge volume surges in the number of shares transacted on that earnings announcement, which is normal, but this is probably even more so because I assume that there will be some selling of Tesla shares going on. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must Knows. We'll see you next week.